Welcome to Metro Focus. In this episode, we're back in the District of Columbia, exploring an eclectic mix of destinations for both locals and visitors. Whether it's community chic or a tourist takeover spot, we'll take you to the home of one of the best chili dogs you'll ever have, and we'll even visit a museum that's just for news. We'll also take you to a popular community arts venue, and we're going to see what's going on with this year's National Cherry Blossom Festival. We'll also see how Metro positively impacts some of the businesses in our community, and we'll teach you some important safety factors while riding Metro. So sit back, get comfortable, and enjoy this Metro Focus ride.
I'm Sonia Gavankar, and I'm the Manager of Public Relations here at the Newseum. The Newseum has been in Penn Quarter for 8 years, and we love being here. Penn Quarter is the coolest place to be. It's always living and thriving, and mostly because of how different the demographic is. There are people who live here, who work here, who socialize here, so it's always alive. It never goes to sleep. There's so much to do right here on the mall, and we just love being at the center of history and adding to it. The Newseum chose this location because it was the last open available spot to build from the ground up here on the National Mall. So Penn Quarter was the home we were looking for, and we looked at a lot of places, but this is where we knew would be our perfect home. The Newseum is filled with 15 galleries and 15 theaters, and we really change over that content regularly. So right now you can see some old refreshed favorites like the FBI exhibit down on our concourse level that shows the history of the FBI and also how it's changing with the age of terrorism and how news is covering that. We still have our Pulitzer exhibit, which is one of my favorite exhibits. It's the Pulitzer Prize photography exhibit. You can see all the most famous moving images that we all know and remember that are all in one gallery, all here in one place. And of course, today's front pages, they change outside on Pennsylvania Avenue and up here every single day at 6 a.m. Kids love learning about history and civics through our Berlin Wall exhibit. They really understand freedom when they see the West German side and see all of the graffiti and the color, and then they go right around to the East German side and it's nothing. It's just concrete. That really encapsulates freedom for high school kids especially. The great thing about Washington, D.C. and the National Mall is that it's history, but it's also a growing history, and that's what the Newseum looks at. The evolution of how news is covered, how freedom is expressed. All the 5 freedoms of the First Amendment are expressed and highlighted here at the Newseum, so it's an evolving and always growing museum. The other cool thing is that every president has to walk right past us on Inauguration Day, so they have to look up and look at the First Amendment on stone here at the Newseum as they walk to their new job on Pennsylvania Avenue. So we have so many Metro stops right close to us. We have Navy Archives, we have Judiciary Square, so lots of tourists who are using Metro to access some of the great things here on the National Mall can also come to the Newseum. Metro has such a wonderful impact on Washington, D.C. Because you can get to things so easily, you really can see the evolution of a neighborhood and how it changes and grows through the years. So thanks to Metro, we can have constant supplies of visitors and make it easy for them to access the Newseum. We want people to really understand their freedoms when they come to the Newseum. There are 5 freedoms of the First Amendment, and we want them to leave remembering the freedom of the press, religion, petition, speech, and assembly. All of our galleries touch on those freedoms, and we want them to understand what would happen if those freedoms are taken away. We have a great exhibit in our World Press Freedom Gallery that explains clearly the freedoms across the world. Countries are listed as red for no freedom, yellow for partially free, and green for totally free. And we want people to understand what happens when those freedoms are taken away, because we don't want to ever get to that point. So getting people to understand their freedoms, how they fit into them, and how they have to exercise them is really important to us here at the Newseum.
Hi, I'm Diana Mayhew, President of the National Cherry Blossom Festival. The National Cherry Blossom Festival starts the first day of spring, March 20th, and will continue through April 17th. The National Cherry Blossom Festival always showcases something new and exciting and surprises for everyone. We have our traditional, very beloved events that we present each year, but every year there's a new fun twist. So you can enjoy new performances, new activities, and We also have a fabulous finale weekend this year, Saturday, April 16th. We start the day with the National Cherry Blossom Festival Parade presented by Events DC. Then only 3 metro stops away, you can travel to the Sakura Matsuri Festival, the Japanese Street Festival presented by Japan American Society of Washington. After that, continue on back to the Carnegie Library with Events DC once again presenting Cherry Blast, which is a new event this year. It's actually all things Japanese, anime, cosplay, also gaming, and it's going to be the biggest Japanese dance party in the United States. We have the fabulous opening ceremony on Saturday, March 26th at the Warner Theater, featuring many world-class performances and celebrating the 104th anniversary of the gift of trees from Tokyo to the United States. There's hands-on activities for children, family, lots of takeaways, crafts they can do. Right now we're here at Southwest Waterfront and we're on board the Odyssey. This is the location where the festival will be holding the Southwest Waterfront Fireworks Festival. It will be on Saturday, April 9th, starting at 1 p.m., going all the way, fireworks are at 8:30, and the best way to see the fireworks is actually right on board the Odyssey where we are now, and they're having amazing fireworks dinner cruise that you'll be right under the fireworks. Most of our events are accessible through Metro. Whether you're going to the parade or the Southwest Waterfront Fireworks Festival, everything is accessible by Metro. The Metro is a fabulous asset for Washington, D.C. Helps us move about 1.5 million people to make sure that people can get around to see all of the different activities and enjoy all the different parts of the city. Taking public transportation, it is the easiest, most convenient way to go. Most recently, we had warm weather this winter. We had so many people that called all over the country worrying about the fact that the festival or the blossoms might bloom and the festival might not have blossoms. But that's not going to happen. The blossoms will be here. The Park Service is predicting the peak bloom to be between March 31st and April 3rd, but that just means 70% of the blossoms will be peaking at that time. They may come a little earlier, they can last a little longer depending on the weather. So everyone rest assured, the blossoms will bloom during the festival. Washington, D.C. is the springtime destination. If you're a local D.C. resident, take a staycation, stay downtown, enjoy the hotels, enjoy the restaurants. Come to see the cherry blossoms at the Tidal Basin all day long. Start early in the morning, enjoy breakfast, picnic down at the Tidal Basin, and then enjoy performances from 12 o'clock in the afternoon to 6 p.m. on the A&A stage. There'll be live performances every day for 16 days.
I am sitting in a historic landmark here in DC. I'm sitting right now with Miss Virginia Ali, owner of Ben's Chili Bowl. Thank you so much for having us, Miss Virginia.
It's my pleasure.
So tell me all about Ben's Chili Bowl. This has been here since I was a little girl, I know for sure, but even longer than that, right?
I would think so. My husband Ben and I opened Ben's Chili Bowl on August 22nd, 1958. That's more than 57 years now.
Wow.
And it's been an interesting experience. I came from Virginia. Ben was from Trinidad. When I came initially, it was a segregated city. The U Street corridor, the Shaw neighborhood was our community. And a very, very classy community. Everybody supported each other. We cared about the way we dressed. I remember going to work in short cotton gloves in the summertime. And of course, jeans were worn by farmers back there. My husband, as I said, came from Trinidad and matriculated at our university, starting with the University of Nebraska in Lincoln, Nebraska, and then coming to Howard to attend Howard's dental school.
Okay, Howard.
Yes,
very
of course.
nice.
He'd worked his way through college by working in restaurants, starting with mopping the floors and doing the kitchen work, and by the time he came to Washington, he was a maitre d' in some of the big restaurants downtown. And we were introduced by one of his colleagues who was in dental school. We fell in love, we wanted to get married, and we've got to find a way to make a living. And he said his goal was always to open a restaurant. So first you got to get the right location.
Right.
Well, the location was U Street. This was known as Black Broadway. We had 3 theaters in 3 blocks.
Wow.
There were wonderful jazz clubs and the theaters. After 1968, when the riots occurred, the neighborhood took a downturn for a very long time. So it was a very difficult time. It was a scary time. You know how many employees we had during that time? 1 and me. And she's still with me. Her name is Peaches, and she's still with me 38 years later.
Wow.
Yes, but finally, we had our green line across the street. We were so happy.
And look at it now.
And look at it now, and it just brings people from all over the city, even from Rockville. You can just take the subway, get the green line, and get off right across the street from it.
Speaking of customers, you got some notable people coming to see you.
Yeah, well, we've been here a long time.
Who was your favorite guest? Can you think of one?
Oh, I like everybody.
Everybody.
I like everybody, you know, and we pride ourselves on being warm and friendly and kind to everybody. It doesn't matter what the status is in life. The other interesting thing for us, and the one big blessing, has been the fact that we had 3 sons. We sent them all off to very good schools, and one became an attorney. And guess why they all work? Ben's Chili Bowl.
I know, that's right. Give back.
Not only that, but 2 of my daughter-in-laws are here full time.
Wow.
And the 3rd daughter-in-law has her office in our little building next door, where she is a counselor. So we have the entire family here. I come here every day. I'm 82 years old, but I come every day because I meet new friends, I see old friends, and I see my children every day.
Every day. You think about the nightlife, the restaurants.
Yeah.
U Street is synonymous to just hanging
That's
out,
right.
having a good time.
That was the way it was in 1958 when we opened. Our hours on weekends was 4 a.m. in the morning, Friday and Saturday night. But I love people. You know, this has been easy for me because I love people.
We've shown you some of the cool places Metro can take you, and we're always working to make your ride easy and convenient. That's why on March 27th, Metro initiated some Metro bus changes. Let's say you're planning to catch a movie, go shopping, or grab a bite at one of the restaurants in Silver Spring. Now you can catch a ride there faster than ever before. Route Z6 now has new Saturday service between Silver Spring and Castle Boulevard. Buses are scheduled to come to you every 30 minutes. There's also a brand new Z7 route to replace the old Z9 and Z29. And if you want to head out to Blackburn Road, don't worry, you can also use the new and revised Z11. In the Greenbelt area, we've added new Sunday service to routes G12 and G14. There are many other Metro bus service changes that are now in effect, so check out the full list at WMATA.com/BetterBus. You should also sign up for Metro Alerts so you can get up-to-date information to your text message or your email, and be sure to follow Metro Bus Info on Twitter.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
I am standing on the rooftop of Madam's Organ with the owner here, Mr. Billy. Thank you so much, Billy, for having us today.
Thanks for coming out and climbing on the roof.
Yes, it was an adventure for sure. So tell us a little bit about Madam's Organ.
You know, Madam's, we opened in '92. Back then, Adams Morgan, there was no live music on the street. It was a very different kind of street. There were a lot of mom and pop shops, etc. Great neighborhood. I mean, I love the neighborhood, but literally just saw there was a paucity of live music, and opened a place where I could just go and hear music that I wanted to hear and eat food that I wanted to eat without having to wait in line.
Tell us what made you choose this neighborhood, though.
Adams Morgan is probably the only place in DC where you have the kind of diversity, whether it's ethnic, economic. It's just, you have everybody in this neighborhood, and you always have. I mean, my neighbors here, I have got Brazilian next door, West African across the street,
right.
French restaurant down the street. You know, you've got coffee shops, little mom and pop shops. It's a neighborhood that very few in DC have this kind of mixture. And I would say none in DC have this kind of mix. You've got bars that are good for old people or younger people or hipsters. Well, here everybody comes in and it looks like everybody gets along.
Tell us a little bit how Metro's impacted. I know you have the 90 line, the X3 runs around here, you have Woodley Park is one of your closest stops.
And since 92, we've been feeding soul food and feeding music for people's souls, you know, every night to hundreds of thousands of people over the years. And Metro feeds those people to us from around the world, around the region. But I think that without Metro, we definitely wouldn't have thrived, and it's very possible we wouldn't have survived.
Who's been your favorite artist so far? If you can pick one.
Well, actually, I mean, we have tremendous ones. I mean, right now I've got a kid that plays with me every Wednesday, Jack Grigori, who, you know, was just on The Voice this past season. One of my favorite friends, he's become a friend now, comes in as the Hungarian ambassador, comes in and plays guitar for me. Has gotten where this is one place he can come in and not be the ambassador, but be a blues guitarist. So the music is different every night. We've got live music 7 nights a week. There's 4 levels. So downstairs we have live bands, you know, big bands, different every night. Second floor we have open mic and we have karaoke and DJs, that sort of thing. But, you know, so oftentimes, and very often, I've listened to somebody at open mic and end up hiring them. And that's, you know, where quite a few of the musicians have gotten their start, you know, in the past, over the past 20 some years. Downstairs, it's like reggae and funk, a group called One Night Stand. Walter Tate Jr. is probably one of the best saxophone players on the East Coast. We have Latin night, we'll have a country night on every Wednesday. Weekends, we've got big national, regional blues acts that come in. Musicians, magicians. You know, we've got Alon New, who's a pretty famous magician who, he's had 4 one-hour specials on Discovery Channel. He comes in here to work out his new material. On a pretty regular basis, you can find some very irregular stuff.
And obviously you have a full bar, full menu as well.
We sell a tremendous amount of food, and it, again, you know, Carlos Wilcox, my actually general manager now, but he came to me as a chef many years ago, developed a great menu that's been written up from everywhere from Southern Living to CBS and Fox News, etc. So people don't first think of a great bar and great food in the same sentence. And I can say that they literally get both in this place.
When they come here.
Music and food can pretty much break down any barrier.
That's right.
You know, if we could just get Republicans and Democrats to eat food together, maybe we could get something going in this country.
Peaceful place, I'm sure it would be.
So you can definitely have some fun. In fact, if you can't have fun here, you know, check your pulse. You could be dead.
Thank you so much for having us, Billy.
Cool. Thanks.
My name is Edmund Fleet, and we are in TheARC, but our official name is the Town Hall Education, Arts, and Recreation Campus here in Southeast Washington. TheARC is a collaboration of 10 different nonprofits, and we were actually founded by a local developer back in the early 90s. They purchased the Villages of Parklands, which is 1,200 units across the street, saw that there were no recreational, artistic, social outlets for the community. My organization, Building Bridges Across the River, leads that collaboration. And so basically what we did, we went to different nonprofits and we said to them, if we raise the money to build the building, will you make a long-term commitment to this community? And they all said yes. Here at the ARC Theater, our 365-seat theater, we actually are on April 30th hosting the Washington Performing Arts Spring Arts Fair, as well as our 10th anniversary celebration. It's our community celebration just to celebrate these first 10 years of building bridges and building families. Last year we actually had over 300 events within this theater, which vary from school graduations and plays to our partners like the Washington Ballet. They put on the Nutcracker here every year before taking it to downtown, to President Obama has been here 4 times. We actually are in the process of building a new building. Children's Hospital will be moving to the new building, going from 8 exam rooms up to 24, bringing specialty services to the community. You know, we're just excited that we're doubling our footprint and the impact that we're going to have on the community. Metro being in close proximity to the ARC, as well as the bus stops, has been vital. The clientele definitely would be different if the community was not Metro accessible. I think it wouldn't be as diversified. There are a lot of individuals from other parts of the Washington metropolitan area who might not come to this community were it not for the access, you know, that Metro provides. When you look at the quality organizations that we have here, like Children's Hospital, the Washington Ballet, Levine Music, and this modern building, you would expect to see it in a more affluent neighborhood. And so it speaks volumes that these services are in an underserved community. Before we came here, there just really was not that much activity for families, for community. And so, you know, it was important to us to try to bring services and programs that any family would want. Most times when people come here, they are amazed when they see this very grand building, floor-to-ceiling windows, and it's just a great place to be in. I live and work in Southeast Washington, and I would put my work environment, this building, up against any downtown office building. And so there are a lot of great things that are going on in this community. You know, people just have to come here in order to see it, and once they do, you know, they're blown away and, you know, can't imagine that this place is in the city.
Hey Metro Riders, be on the lookout for surveyors in Orange Fest.
This is a travel trends survey which we do every few years as mandated by the Federal Transit Administration.
So every 5 years we have surveyors out in the system.
The information you provide in the travel trends survey will be used to help determine jurisdictional subsidy allocations.
It will also help to improve your experience as a rider.
Please help us to provide the best possible service based on your actual use of the system. You don't have to take the survey right when you're handed it.
Feel free to take it on the train itself. And once you get to your destination station, just look for an orange box and drop your completed survey in the box. You can also complete the survey online using the code on the front of the survey. Each time you're offered the survey, please take the time to take it.
There are additional incentives to taking the survey, which you will notice on the front page.
Each time you take it, you increase the likelihood that you'll receive that incentive. Thank you in advance for participating in the survey.
We appreciate your participation, and as always, thank you for riding Metro.
These cameras provide us extra eyes and ears out there. It gives us the ability to look at crowd control. It gives us the ability to confirm an incident is happening. It gives the ability to share intelligence real time with responding units where you're updating the lookout or saying, no, the suspect got on the train or the victim's on the platform. So it gives us the ability to share that intelligence real time with our responding officers. So if a call goes out for a disorderly individual or a robbery that just occurred, this unit will pull up that camera, look at all the different angles, quickly assess, okay, no, he's on the train or he fled out the station, and give that information to responding units. And if one camera is not picking up in a very short amount of time, another camera is. So you got to remember, throughout the rail stations and on buses, cameras overlap each other, so one camera may not pick you up, but the next one will. Some stations could have as low as 50 to 100, but system-wide, you're talking thousands of cameras system-wide. And the ability to zoom in on a license plate, zoom in on a name tag, or a logo on a sweater, or a jacket, or a pair of shoes, and that kind of information, again, collectively helps identify a suspect or a person of interest.
Yeah, so what we're doing is we know that most of our crime is occurring between 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. So what we've done, we've taken our existing resource, our day work officers, and we've overlapped them more with our evening shifts. So now we've created kind of a power hours where that peak ridership is and where we're seeing most of our crime occur. First and foremost, we want our riders to protect themselves at all times. So once they've safeguarded themselves, they can always call us at 202-962-2121. They can text us at MyMTPD. They can report it to any Metro employee, and I've emergency intercoms at the end of every rail car. There's emergency intercoms on our platforms, and by all means, they can always call 911. So, you know, the feasibility of having it also in every platform, on every rail car, we know that's not practical. The numbers would be extraordinary to do that. So this is another technology tool. So it's our text tips, it's our educated Metro employees, it's police officers being in the right place through a CompStat process, it's technology, these CCTVs. All that collectively helps deter crime, helps us deploy the resources we have effectively, and really aids us in being our eyes and ears out there in the system.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Franklin. I'm the Director of Customer Service, and we're here at the Lost and Found Collection Facility at 6505 Bellcrest Road. So we have various items that come in throughout the day that are lost on the bus and the rail system. Any collection of items that you can imagine come into this facility, and so we then inventory them here, and then people come here when we identify the item. We notify the customer that we found it, and they come here, and there's a collection window here where people can pick up their item. If your item has identifying information in it, meaning there's a driver's license or a telephone number or something like that, we will reach out to you, or we will send you a postcard at the address and the item to let you know that we have an item here, and that if you will get in contact with us, we can confirm that it's yours, and then we'll give you instructions on how to come and collect it. The best way to contact us is through the web form. It's the most easy way. It gives you all of the things that we need to collect about the item, including, if it's a cell phone, the various data points that we need so that we can match it for you. We hold items for 30 days. So after 30 days, they get either destroyed, donated, unless a customer can contact us before that 30 days is up and tell us that they are coming to collect their item, but for whatever reason they can't make it within 30 days, and then we'll put a hold on the item for an additional 15 days before we move it off. It's quite a significant amount of lost items that come through this facility. Mainly keys, lots of cell phones, lots of bags and things like that. We do get a few occasional odd items. I think we've had a stuffed alligator's head that showed up one time. Not a stuffed animal, a real alligator head that had been to a taxidermist, and then somebody had lost it on the bus. We're coming off the winter season, so we do get a lot of gloves during the winter. The tourist season is about to ramp up, so it's actually not that busy in here right now. Everything along the walls is from Metro Rail. Everything here in the center is from Metro Bus. Each bin is organized by a day of the month for the last just over 30 days. As we move it out of inventory, then we repurpose the bin with a new date on it. And this is all the bulky items, large bags and purses, some cell phones and devices here, but then we also have a device storage wall over here where we keep a lot of the smaller items. We don't recommend that you go and try to collect it because you're going to be chasing the item through the system. Wait for the process to work. If it gets to the end of the line and the station manager has called ahead, they'll turn it in at the division, and then it will make its way here within 2 to 3 business days. But also make sure that you file the report online, because if there's no contact details in the item, we don't know who it belongs to and we can't reach out to you. So make sure you let us know that you've lost something as well so that we can match those and get it back to you as quickly as possible. Every station has a bag, every bus division has a bag. As you can see, they're very secure. Once they put the items into the bag and locked it, nobody can open that bag again until it gets here. Nobody else has the key, so that we can make sure that there's no risk of items disappearing along the way. We ask the divisions not to wait until the bag is full, because that will delay it arriving, so they need to send the bag every day, even if there's just one item, because we want to get it here as quickly as possible.
Man, see that? Still got to keep it. I did look up. They found it on the Metro bus. I guess one of the bus drivers that goes through and clean the buses up, she must have found it and turned it in for me, and believe me, I'm happy. Soon as I got off the bus, I knew I had left it. Where I lost it at, I thought it was just gone. I just chalked it up, but they told me to put a request in. I put the request in, and this morning I got a text from them, an email telling me that they got my property. They had found it. My life is in this bag. My whole life is in this bag right now. It feels real good. You see, I just got $400 cash back. That's what I was worried about. That's rent money. Like I told the lady on the phone, I don't see no problem with Metro. They doing a good job to me. And I really appreciate it. I really like it.
Welcome back. It looks like this ride is over for now, but don't worry, we'll be back. And next time we're going to popular spots in Arlington and Alexandria, Virginia.